Hello, and today we're going to be doing another review. Notice that this is a goalie mask. Now, if some of you do not know, I do also play goalie, and so we're also going to be opening up two goalie gear reviews. To start it off, we're going to go ahead, not the mask, this one, I'd say about another month and it'll be ready. But another product that I have been using with a couple of other different masks. It started originally with an eye tech, moved on to sport mask, and now I'm using pro mask. This is the X12 Lizard. This is the Luongo slash Brodeur cut, and the green that you see is Maltese, and we'll get to that eventually. If you're a goalie, you probably already know about Maltese. They're pretty awesome. I really enjoy their gel, but we will touch up on that another time. Right now, we are going to focus on, see that little black thing right there? That's Velcro. Why do we have Velcro right there? Because a lot of goalies like to use sweatbands. Now, there are different makers for sweatbands. I'm sure you already know that. Bauer likes to make their own. They're pretty thin. It's a little itty bitty foam. There's also a new one. It's like a Cool Max type. It's blue. It's about $30 for each one. A lot of people have been giving them a lot of good praise. I think I'm going to check them out eventually, and so we'll talk about that if I do, and we'll touch up on them. And when it comes to their customer service or when it comes to anything else, obviously the wear and tear and the use and how they feel. For now, we have another one called Sham Sweatbands. I'm sure this is probably the most popular one. They've been around for quite a while. I remember them back on Mod Squad Hockey, on GSBB or whatever it's called, and even as far back as the Ice Warehouse forums. If you didn't know, they're called Sham Sweatbands because they use ShamWow chamois. They use those towels. Now those towels are pretty absorbent. They are pretty cool. They work great. I've used them around my house, cleaning glass, picking up messes, stuff like that. This gentleman decided that it would be a pretty good idea to, take these, fold them over, and stitch them together. And I don't know if he's stuffing it with foam. It kind of feels like there's a little bit of foam in there. I don't know unless it's the ShamWow that's folded over onto itself, and that's a different story. And it just happens to be really squishy. So you can buy these. I believe it's a pair or one for $29.99. They usually sell them at Pure Hockey, Pure Goalie, Total Goalie, Goalie Monkey. I'm pretty sure even your local hockey shop has them. If they have goalie gear, they probably have them. So let's go ahead and touch up on that. Now, we're not going to go into protectiveness because it's a thin piece of foamy sweatband, so it's not much protection there. But what it does is it does also take up a little bit of negative space between your forehead and the padding on the mask. So as far as absorption, this thing does soak up a lot of sweat. I am a profuse sweater. If you have ever seen the movie Airplane, I'm 30, so Airplane was around my time. Some of you might not be. Some of you are old enough to understand or older than me and understand. But the movie Airplane, the guy takes over as the pilot, and they basically put a hose on the back of his head, and he's just dripping water to make it look like sweat. This thing soaks it up pretty good. I would say about the third period, if I move my mask a little bit where it squeezes it, I get a bath of my own sweat. Sometimes the thought of it will probably make you gag. But, hey, if you're not sweating, you're not working hard enough. So as far as absorption, it does a pretty good job. Like I said, around the third period, you might actually have to take it out and give her a good old squeeze. It's not too bad. My only issue is, see how it's kind of fraying? Now this is the side It is fraying because of the Velcro, so that's understandable. I'm not going to knock a product because it is fraying where it comes into contact with Velcro. Take Velcro to any of your shirts, any of your pants, a towel, your couch, your girlfriend's hair. It's going to make it fray. It's going to make it, bunch up. But on the inside, that's where I do actually have the issue. When you look at the inside, you see that it is kind of pilling up, and that does kind of pose a problem because I wash these literally after every game. I'm not those type of guys who's just going to leave it there and let it kind of gross out over time. That's pretty disgusting. So mine gets washed on its own by hand with soap and hot water, well, mild water. So I wring it out, wash it up, wring it out, set it out to dry. I try to keep it away from my regular clothes. I don't want to have an allergic reaction to whatever was in my pants or my shoes if I throw them in the wash. So this gets washed on its own. It gets, special care, basically. That's what I'm trying to tell you. However, because it just seems to be doing that, I sometimes have long hair, but I always wet my hair, make sure that it's always back. I've never had an issue where my hair goes forward except once, and that was upon contact, and my hair literally covered all of this because it was so long. That's why I just cut it the other day. But because it's doing that, it's actually getting really abrasive on my forehead, and I've started to notice that the last 3 times I've used it, it's causing maybe an allergic reaction, or it's just telling me that it's time to go because I literally am broken out. There's a ton of pimples right along this line and right here. So every time I do use it within the next 2 days, I break out, and it is causing an issue because, if I have to play a couple of times a week, towards the end of the week, my forehead is raw. And I've had issues where a couple of weeks ago I played about 3 times. I did a lot of sub work for other teams, and my forehead was just, bleeding at one point towards the last game of the week. That does cause an issue. If you are allergic to this type of fabric, it's going to give you problems. If you are allergic to certain soaps, which I don't think I am. I mean, I use that soap on all my gear, all my regular civilian clothes, and I don't have an issue. But it seems to be causing an issue with this. It doesn't feel greasy like you normally would because it's been used. Right now it is clean. It's fully dry. I just used it about a day and a half ago, and I do have some pimples that I've gone ahead and already popped, and a couple others that are really deep, and they're just painful as hell. So for the concept, I would say this is a great concept. I mean, this guy's been making money over fist or money over hand, whatever you want to call it, for years. So they're doing a great job. I think just the issue would be maybe either change up the foam or give us a timeline of how long you're supposed to use it. I've gone through about 3 of these in about 7 or 8 months. The reason I've gone through so many is because I was kind of having the issue, but not too bad. I like to kind of keep the colors rotated. I have this orange one, or it looks yellow to you guys. I don't understand what's up with the lighting. I have a baby blue one and I have a red one. So it's just been kind of giving me the issue more concentrated with this one. This one I was very curious if maybe it was just in particular something that I was doing, maybe something in my diet. I'm not getting enough water. Maybe it was gel. I don't really wear hair gel, so not an issue there. Or maybe it was just the fabric itself. So as far as the usability, doing its job, taking up all my sweat, this does a great job. I'm going to go ahead and give it an 8 out of 10. Only 8 because it's a sponge, basically. So it's going to do its job. But like I said, my only issue is even just slight shifting causes a ton of water to come out. And so that is expected with anything that comes in contact with your sweat and soaks it up. So 8 out of 10. The build, it's pretty awesome. I prefer to use it with the stitching side up. And I use it pretty flush along the top, the crown of my forehead, right above my eyebrows. And a lot of times you see my eyebrows disappear on top of it. That's usually when I'm really impressed by something that's going on in the play. It does a very good job at conforming immediately to your mask, and it keeps its shape. This is basically the general shape, aside from maybe going a little bit further. So it does a pretty good job there. As far as protection, like I said, there's no protection to this, so we're not going to grade that. Wear and tear, I've been using this one for a little less than a month and a half, and the wear and tear is just kind of killing me because I'm literally, if you just saw the last one, I'm literally pulling off all the pilling. These are hard pieces that are just very abrasive to my skin. Call me a wussy, call me whatever you want to call it, but I don't like that. A lot of people don't. Some people are going to have some reactions to it, like I am with acne issues from it. And I don't normally have acne issues. Would I recommend this to other people? Absolutely. If you are going to play goalie and you need a new sweatband, these guys are pretty cool. These guys are pretty good about it, and it's going to give you a good lengthy time. I would say make sure you get one or two. Maybe get two so you can kind of rotate them and keep them nice and washed and clean. If you start getting any oiliness to it and it's no longer washing off, throw it out. If you start having issues with it like I am, throw it out. That's about it. Like I said, would I recommend it to you guys? Yeah, if you need it. You're not going to have the same reaction I will, so go ahead and get it. If you do have very sensitive skin, very much look into the allergic reactions to ShamWows, because there are some people that are very allergic to this type of fabric. The last thing that I want is for you to follow my advice, get it, have an allergic reaction. I'm going to feel really bad. I might have to send you a flower or two, or some Hershey's Kisses or some crap, but hopefully you don't have a reaction to it and you start feeling better, assuming that you felt bad, but I don't want you to. So aside from the fact that I'm having this issue, I would still recommend it, but make sure that you rotate them or get rid of it. So this is the last time you'll be seeing this one. I'm actually going to go ahead and throw it in the trash right now. I do have another backup left over. We're going to go ahead and break her out and see how long it takes for me to start breaking out again. That way I can kind of give you guys a more updated timeline on how long it takes me with washing and keeping it nice and clean. So other than that, you guys have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful week. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, as always, comment below. Press subscribe, share to your mama, your baby mama, your sister, your cousin, or to your friends on Facebook. Check out my page on Facebook. I probably don't even post as much as I should, but Thinking Jack Hockey Reviews. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of my viewing family, and I hope everything's going great for you guys. Cheers.